Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'll show you how to value a stock using the relative PE or price to earnings multiples method, which is a simple yet powerful way to determine a stock's intrinsic or fair value. And a few weeks ago, I posted a video on how to value a stock like Benjamin Graham, Warren Buffett's mentor, and you guys seem to love it. But if you guys haven't seen that video yet, I'll link it in the comments so you can check it out right after this one. So I wanted to make this video to show you another simple and powerful valuation method that investors use all the time. For this video, I'll be using Google Sheets to walk you through a step-by-step process that you can use to value any stock in minutes or even seconds. So let's jump right in. So for this video, we're going to be valuing the stock of a company called PepsiCo. So first, let's start with this cell and just type company actuals. And we're just going to bold it for the format and maybe put the color as red. And right below this cell, we'll need to create a table with 5 different columns. So let me just add the borders here. And for the top part, we can make it as black. So let me just select this one. And for the text, we can choose potentially white. So let's go to the first column and name it as company name. The second column is going to be the ticker. The third column is going to be called stock price. The fourth column is going to be called the EPS. And the last column is going to be the PE ratio. So let me just type it correctly. And then let's make the text on the top as bold. And let's center it as well. So now we'll need to populate all these 5 empty cells for the company called PepsiCo. So for the first cell, the company name, we're just going to type PepsiCo. So the second column is called ticker. And if you guys don't know what a ticker is, a ticker symbol is a unique series of letters assigned to a publicly traded company stock that helps identify it on the stock exchanges. So for example, for PepsiCo, their unique ticker on the stock market is PEP. So let me just type PEP in this cell. So for the next column, we'll need to enter the PepsiCo stock price as of today. And there are 2 ways to get that. One of them is to manually pull it from a website like Google Finance or Yahoo Finance, but Google Sheets also allows us to automate that step so that we don't have to manually pull it from different websites. So for this cell, we're going to go with an equal sign. We'll type Google Finance and we'll open the brackets. We'll first select the ticker, the PEP, comma, and then in quotations, we're going to type the price. Close quotations, close the bracket. And you'll see that the price of PepsiCo stock as of now is $143.49. So for the next column, we'll need to enter the trailing 12-month EPS for PepsiCo. So EPS stands for earnings per share, and it represents a company's profit per share of stock, calculated as net income divided by the total number of shares. So it basically tells us how much profit a company makes for each stock that you own as an investor. And similar to the stock price, there are 2 ways for us to get this number. The first way is to go to Yahoo Finance and pull it from there manually, or we can also pull the number using the Google Finance function. So let's start with an equal sign and type Google Finance. First, we'll select the ticker PEP, comma, let's open quotations, and this time we're going to type EPS. Close quotations, close the bracket, and you'll see that the EPS for Google is $6.79. And our last column is the PE ratio. And this price to earnings ratio basically measures how much investors are willing to pay for each dollar of a company's earnings, calculated as stock price divided by EPS. So for this cell, we're going to go with an equal sign, select the stock price for PepsiCo, and divide it by the company's EPS. And we'll get the PE ratio as 21.13. So let me quickly fix the formatting for this data to make everything look better. So first we're going to center everything. Then for the stock price and EPS, we're going to make it a $sign. And for the PE ratio, we don't need all these extra numbers, so we're just going to reduce them. So I think we got everything that we need from PepsiCo. So next, let's go to this cell and type competitor actuals. And we're going to use the same format as the text here, so we're going to copy the format and apply it to our new text. And now we will want to copy the table from PepsiCo and paste it right below the competitor actuals. And now let's select all data for PepsiCo in the second table. Let's copy it. And let's paste it for the other 3 lines below it. And for this table, we'll want to highlight the company names and the tickers in yellow. This is something that we're going to be changing. So once highlighted in yellow, let's just delete all the data here. And you'll see that the formulas for stock price, EPS, and PE ratio all stayed within the table, but they're not giving us any numbers because we don't have anything in the tickers here. So for this table, you'll need to select a few companies that are competing with PepsiCo and determine their average PE ratio. And if you go to PepsiCo's latest annual return, you'll see that PepsiCo operates in two business segments, the snacking segment and the beverage segment. Their snacking segment represents about 60% of their business and the beverage is the remaining 40%. So for the competitors, we'll need to select the companies that are either in snacking, the beverages, or both. So for the first company, we're going to type Coca-Cola, which is arguably the biggest competitor for PepsiCo, and their ticker is KO. And now you see the stock price for Coca-Cola is $62.67, their EPS is $2.41, and their PE ratio is 26. And now let's select three more companies. First, we'll go with the Keurig Dr. Pepper, which operates in the beverage segment, and their ticker is KDP. The third company is going to be Mondelez International, so I'm going to just type Mondelez, and their ticker is MDLZ. And Mondelez mostly operates in the snacking business. And the last company is going to be Kellogg, which has a new name now, so I'm going to type the new name here, and their ticker is K. So after all the formulas load, you see that we have the stock prices for each of the four companies, their EPS, and the PE ratio of all four companies. And the PE ratio for Coca-Cola is 26, for Dr. Pepper it's 18.96, for Mondelez it's 19.9, and for Kellogg's it's 28.09. So for the next line in this cell, let's type average PE ratio of competitor companies. And for this cell, let's go with an equal sign, type average, and let's select the 4 PE ratio of competitor companies. And you'll see that the average is 23.24. So let's make this number as bold and let's make it center as well. So for the purposes of our intrinsic value calculation of PepsiCo, we're going to use the PE ratio of 23.24. And to find this average, I only used 4 competitor companies, but you can use as many as you want. Usually, if you decide to use more competitor companies, you can rely more on the average PE ratio as it becomes more statistically significant. So now let's go to this cell and type intrinsic value, or in brackets, we're going to say fair value. And in the next cell, let's type upside or downside. For both of these tags, let's make them as bold and red. So we're going to select this one and apply the same format. And let's make column a bit bigger to include all this text. So now in this cell here, we'll need to calculate the intrinsic value of PepsiCo. So we're going to go with an equal sign. We will select the actual EPS for PepsiCo, so the 6.79, and we'll multiply it by the average PE ratio of competitor companies. And with this approach, we'll get $157.79 as the fair value of PepsiCo stock, which is higher than the current value of $143.49. And for the cell below, we're going to go with an equal sign. We'll select the fair value of the stock divided by the current stock price and minus 1. So now let's make it as a percentage. So this cell basically tells us that if we buy the stock at $143.49, and if we assume the intrinsic value is $157, there is a 10% upside to the stock price. So now you can use the spreadsheet that we created together to value virtually any company. The only thing that you'll need to change is the company name and the ticker for the company you are trying to value, and then you'll need to choose appropriate competitors. So for example, if you wanted to value a company like Amazon, for competitor companies, you would have to select some retail companies like Walmart and Target, and some tech companies like Google, Microsoft, and Meta. And just keep in mind that no valuation formula ever is going to be perfect, so do your own research on top of using all these different formulas as well. I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.